Today's recipe is a really easy and delicious rib recipe, and all of it is made right in your kitchen, in your air conditioning, in your oven. It has 3 separate herbs: thyme, sage, and rosemary, as well as some fennel seed and paprika. So it's sort of inspired by like the Italian porchetta in rib form. You'll need 2 teaspoons each chopped fresh thyme and chopped sage, as well as 2 tablespoons of chopped fresh rosemary. So I'm getting those herbs ready. If you don't have those fresh herbs, I think you could use some dry, especially for the thyme and the sage, but I would do about half. Rosemary, same. You want to remove the needles from the sort of tougher stalk in the center, so pull those off before you mince up the rosemary. I like to use more tender rosemary if I can find it, as opposed to the woodier stuff, because if I'm going to chop it up, I'm going to eat it as part of a rub. You don't want to be getting stuck in the mouth with little bits of rosemary, but do your best. That's why replacing the fresh with dry just for the rosemary is not the best idea, because those are really, really pokey. Have you ever tried to eat a piece of dry rosemary? Not fun. Chop the herbs so they're pretty fine. Sage, same thing. Chop that. 2 teaspoons. Final chop all together. Then they're going to go into a bowl with a 1/4 cup of olive oil, 4 teaspoons of kosher salt. That may seem like a lot, but I'm using 3 racks of ribs, so just remember it's getting distributed, and kosher salt is less salty than fine salt. A teaspoon of black pepper, 4 teaspoons of fennel seeds. Fennel is a sort of anisey flavored seed, as well as 2 teaspoons of hot paprika. I don't particularly like overly smoky flavors. If you like a smoky flavor and you're not going to be getting this from the grill because we're doing the whole thing in the oven and the broiler, you could replace maybe 1 teaspoon of hot paprika with smoked paprika. That is up to you. So now we have sort of a mix between a dry rub and a paste, and that can get rubbed all over your ribs. This will get rubbed all over both the bone side and the meat side, and then you'll cover it and marinate it for at least 2 hours. If it's in the fridge, you can do it overnight. Obviously, if it's at room temperature, you're not going to want to do that. Right, about 20 minutes before you're going to cook these, start preheating your oven so that it has time to get to 325 degrees when it's time to put the meat into the oven. Let these guys marinate and wash your hands. Once they've marinated, uncover them and then roast them until they're tender at 325. That'll take about 2 hours. For the glaze, you need a 1/4 cup of white balsamic vinegar and a clove of garlic. You're gonna grate the garlic. You can grate it directly into the bowl. It's sort of a glaze. I mean, we're glazing the ribs with it. It's not your traditional glaze. It's not syrupy or thick or anything, but it's gonna add just a final touch of flavor to the ribs, which are already really flavorful on their own. I feel like that was a pretty big clove. Some salt and pepper. Give that a little stir. Then get your ribs out of the oven and turn the oven to broil. Then you're going to want to brush the ribs with some glaze before you put them into the broiler to get a little bit crisp. If you want to cook these ahead, you want to cook them up to this point where they're tender, and then you can refrigerate them for a day or 2 before you reheat them in the broiler. And then just back into the broiler until they're nice and crispy and sort of charred, just in spots, but not burnt. Okie doke. Out of the broiler. They are done. All that's left to do is eat them. I have a delicious balsamic potato salad I'm going to serve with too. Great recipes are all in our July-August issue of Martha Stewart Living, so you should check them out. We've got lots of other great recipes too for fantastic, entertaining ideas. You should give them a try. Oh. Give the ribs a try. So good. I think you're gonna love it. If you like recipes like this and you want more, make sure to click like and subscribe because we have plenty more where this came from.